Hi, I'm Grady, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do proper and safe maintenance on a sprayer, and I'm going to show you what kind of proper PPE to use and just some safe practices to keep in mind while you're at it. Proper personal protective equipment you should be using for this job is when you're greasing, you should be using some gloves just so you don't get grease all over your hands and then it's hard to carry things. Otherwise, just use some gloves, and also it helps to like when you're clearing off the grease nipple, then it's easier to keep away dirt and not push dirt into the machine. And secondly, you should be wearing some eye protection just because there might be dust and grime in the grease points, so you want to make sure you clear that out, and you want to use some kind of cloth or paper towel to get rid of that. And this just helps with the wear and tear on the machine. I'm going to show multiple main grease points on the sprayer, and along the way I'll show some safety tips and point out some guards that are protecting things like the battery and the engine. Wearing gloves when maintaining any kind of big machinery is always good because there's multiple pinch points, and when you're working on those pinch points, you always want to be really careful, because if the machine is for some reason left on, or the battery's left running, or the hydraulic hoses aren't working, then all of a sudden the pinch points become really hazardous, and this can result in some serious injuries. And then wearing glasses, it's just always a good habit to have when you're working on these machines. It just keeps debris out of your eye and helps you see what you're doing better. So sprayer is used for spraying chemicals on crops that are helpful for the crop's development. And for an example, if there's too many weeds in a field, then they'll spray for that kind of weed, or say like kochia weed. There's certain sprays and different chemicals used for different kinds of plants. And desiccating, that's when you take a sprayer into the field and you spray the crop, and it just kills the plant and dries it out so it's ready for harvest. So when you're greasing, you want to be able to make sure that you see what you're doing, and like there's a grease point right here. So what I want to do, just grab a cloth and clean it off because it's a little dirty. Try not to leave any dust or grime behind. And then greasing is important on any machinery because it helps all the joints that are constantly moving just run smooth, and it keeps the dust and the grime out of there. So one of the safety features on a sprayer is their shield right here, and underneath here protects like the motor, and its purpose is pretty much to protect the fan from all the dust in the field. And it's a safety feature because people can get caught up in the fan and on the belt. So just, yeah, if you're ever working on this, make sure the battery's killed, and because you don't want to get caught in there when the engine's running, because you'll sustain a lot of injury, especially with limbs like arms and legs. Another safety feature is like the battery. It has a shield over it, and this protects the electrical and ensures that everything functions properly inside of the cab. And say like the lights, they all need battery to run, so you really need that to work. Especially GPS is really important in a sprayer, so if something isn't working for the GPS, then it throws the whole field off. You could even kill some of your crop or kill somebody else's crop. Here, when you're going up into the cab, there's railing here to hang on to. This is kind of like for any piece of farm equipment, there's always some kind of handle or railing just helps just to keep you stable when you're going up and down. And the stairs flip up, so the wheel bearings are really important. And so one grease point is right here. I already did this one. I cleared it off and everything. And then there's another one down here. Right here. Behind this bracket here, there's another one. And just being precise and careful. So yeah, like you do that for the other 4 wheels, and then there's also some bearings in here. You just got to make sure you get all of them and do them so like regularly, or else you'll end up with some problems. Greasing is generally a pretty safe job just because it's just this gun here and there's not much to it. There is a possibility of like making a mess though. You always want to clean up your messes. Like I left a grease spot here. You always want to clean it up. And then, yeah, that's about it. Thanks.